And Terron is going to be the centerpiece for this game coming up. And I just want to say it, but I really, really do believe his play is going to be critical to this win. Obviously, Hill, Waddle, Tua, huge. Defense, huge. Understand that. But the table gets set with the offensive line. And we're facing the best pass rush. Not in total, but with Garrett, Clowney. They have the best two pass rushers coming against us since Rousseau and Vaughn with Buffalo. But they are coming off a bye week and not coming off a short week like the Bills were. They're going to be sitting in that sun, but I don't think the sun's going to be as cooking as it was that day. So we're going to get a heavy dose of some very potent pass rush. And this is why I mark Terron, and then on the second level, the rest of the offensive line, if you want to put Shell up there in the second spotlight as the two most critical parts to the puzzle. I'm going to get into the whole deal, why I think that. I'm going to show you what the stats say. I'm going to show you what the defense looks like. I'm going to show you how some people played over the last couple of games. And you're going to see this is going to be a critical matchup. Obviously, Hill is super amazing. Waddle's super amazing. And Tua, just as well, doing great. But if that pass rush gets to Tua, all three are going to not have a glorious day. And Terron's banged up, but this is what he was signed for, this moment. I wish he was healthy because it would be glorious. Now, if he pulls it off, it's going to be amazing tape given how banged up this guy is. But this is what it's going to be about, folks. We know we got an awesome passing attack. We know they got a good running attack. We know that both these defenses have a level of inconsistency. We know Cleveland's got a very good offensive line. But Garrett is the best player on this team. And Terron, unless they flip, I usually see Garrett on that left side. It's going to be Terron, mano-a-mano, versus Garrett. And if he manages to do his job, this will be a very, very nice day for us. So before I get into that, I just want to give you guys a shout out. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate everything you do, keeping the channel going. I love to do this stuff. So without you, without my sponsors, Ace Per Head, the show ain't going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Cleveland gives up 8th least most yards through the air. So you could say 8th best pass defense if that's what you want to say. But they give off the 24th worst yards per catch at 6.5. So they're giving up some big plays, but overall they're able to contain. Now their run defense is 13th, which is pretty good. Not great, 4.6, but we're not going to run a lot. If we get a couple big runs, it's going to play an important fact to this game. Obviously the passing, but it's going to be the offensive line, the Miami Dolphins, going against all-world Myles Garrett and Clowney on the other side and Auso Karamora, I can never pronounce that guy's name, who's a darn good hybrid-type safety linebacker who's going to play this week. And Tataki, he's really good linebacker. And then they got Walker, who's coming in, who's playing really good coverage linebacker. And Denzel Ward is making his return after many weeks off with a concussion. He runs a 4.3. All this is going to make it a little more difficult for the Miami Dolphins to pass. Now, if there's no pressure, it don't matter. Hill and Waddle are faster than Ward, and they're going to get open and have their big plays. But if that pressure can get to Tua, the way I saw last week against Burrow, it's going to get dicey. All right? So let's take a look at Terron's last 3 weeks, and then we'll take a look at Garrett's last 3 weeks. So here's the graphic. You see Terron over the last 3 weeks. Against Chicago, he gave up 2 pressures, no sacks, 1 hit, 1 hurry. Against Detroit, 2 pressures, 0 sacks, 2 hits, 2 hurries. Pitt, 0 across the board. Now, we did see the Achilles injury pop up before last week, so something kind of was percolating along with the toe and along with the recovery. And when you watch his tape closely, you can see he's still doing his thing, but it's getting a lot harder. It looked so smooth for him early when he was healthy, and it looks like it's getting a little bit harder. Now, he's had 2 practices this week, and he had on a limited basis, and 2 practices last week on a limited basis. But clearly, it's not as easy as it once was. There's pain, and there's limitations for Terron. Still doing a great job. 4 pressures in 3 weeks, being the guy who's left the block alone. Pretty good for a guy especially for a guy who's that beat up. But let's take a look at Myles Garrett. Against Cincy, 8 pressures, 2 sacks, 1 hit, 5 hurries, a win rate of 35.5. Baltimore, 5 pressures, 1 sack, 4 hurries, win rate of 36.8. New England, 8 pressures, 2 sacks, 6 hurries, 36.7 win rate. Now, I didn't put the win rate up for Terron because for Mosley, it's in the 90s. It's really hard to gauge that because, it looks so good. Even the worst guys are like an 80-something%, top high 80s. But for a defensive end to get pressure 1 out of every 3 plays, and a tad bit more, that's outstanding. Now, Cincy, they don't have great tackles, so you kind of expect that. But Staley was in with the Ravens, and he got 5. And Staley's good. Staley's really good. I mean, healthy against an injured Terron, he's probably better. Then New England, they've got some decent tackles over there. They got Brown and, what's his face? I can't remember his name right now. Old timers. But you know who I'm talking about. The little dude, 6'2". Oh, man, it bothers me. Anyway, but he got 8 pressures there. And that, too, was against a heavy run attack. And clearly, if he has a day like this, it's going to get very tough. And we don't want Tua getting hit. They don't get a lot of picks. I think they're, 26th least on the picks. They don't get really many picks. Or maybe worse than that, I think. 28th. They don't get a lot of pens either. They don't give up a lot of yak yards. They got 13th in run defense. As I said, 8th in pass defense. And their pressure rate doesn't feel good, but it has been gaining. And what they're going to do is they have guys that are fast enough that they're going to play off a little bit and give the underneath stuff a little bit more. And they're going to be able to chase for a little bit longer to make that clock go a little bit more, allow that pass rush to get to Tua. The last couple of weeks, Bears no pass rush, beat up secondary. And without Roquan in there, Tua loves to throw to the middle. And either A, you've got to have an excellent covering second safety or covering linebacker to be able to get back to that point and play the coverage with good instinct to kind of take away that middle. And Tataki and Osa Kamara, whatever, I can't remember his name is. These guys are fast enough, along with Walker, to drop very quick. They're fast. A couple times I saw them stretched out wide, the linebackers with the running back, and going on flies with them. It's going to make this middle a little more dicey. Now, again, the Dolphins can clearly pass on any defense if given the time. We got to see. This is why I think the run game will play a little bit of importance, because if they can catch them biting and not let Garrett pin his ears back, I know that McDaniel's going to do a great job getting the movement, helping with the blocks. And if Terron can do his job and all that help can flow, you're going to have to protect Shell. I've shown over and over again. He suffers from speed and agile rushers. And Clowney is at 255. He's going to be able to really use that speed and the second move to come back inside or inside-outside to take advantage of Shell. And that's going to mean he's going to have to bring the help there. And I still like that, because Shell's not going to get blown up in the middle. He's not going to get power rushed. And that's critical. So you're going to be able to help him, but it's going to come back to Terron having to handle Garrett. This is must-see TV for me. And I say, in jest, my man Terron. But I love what this guy has done for the team. Everybody says Tua came back and we started winning. I really think it's Tua and Terron, guys. I really do. And it's not a knock on Tua. Dan Marino had Webb. He needed Webb. Do you think Dan Marino would have been Dan Marino without Webb? No. So, guys, there's so many other things I'd like to talk about, but they're really not as relevant. Brissett, he's doing a lot better than we might think. This offensive line is making him look real good. With time, he's able to hit these guys. They have a good passing attack. But no one has our passing attack if protected. So keep your eyes on Terron versus Garrett, and then second, Shell. And if you want to add a little third in there, Jones. Some twists on him, some late blitzes. Will he be quick enough to pick it up? I love the fact that he's stout enough not to get blown back like Eichenberg, but he's going to be able to pick up those stunts. Going to be very interesting. Jackson practiced, but I don't think he's playing this week. So, guys, keep your eyes on that. We are able to limit Garrett. Game over, really. I feel like it's game over. If not, it's game on. This could be a very, very interesting game. We win this one, it's huge, huge to take this team, given what their abilities are and how talented they are. Don't look at the record. Watch the tape. They're a lot better than you think. Anyway, I can't wait for this game. It's a big one, guys. I just realized I'm wearing like an orange or red, and it's the Browns. I'm not wearing it because I'm a Browns fan. I just totally didn't even realize it now. Anyway, have a good weekend. Get ready for this game. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a fun one. We win this one, and man, we're definitely going 8-3 into that last 6 games with maybe 2 or 3. That means only 2 or 3 wins of the last 6, and we'll go to the playoffs. Catch you next time. Be well. Go Fins. It's orange. It really is. It's orange. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with acebread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.